Jama'a sannun mu da dawowa kamar ka gani mun je break yayi ya dade kadan saboda mun samu wani matsala dai technical issue na isa ku muna afwan inshallah mun continue da program na inshallah ku muna afwan yanzu an ya sort out wannan problem inshallah isa dai kuma kana fadi mun duba issues nan da zamu discuss yau but dai mu doki wani break kuma inshallah mun dawo ba da jimawa ba saboda mu fix wani problem kuma yau da ina ga technical challenges na yau yasa FIFA mun je wani break kadan she mu dawo ka mu sort out wannan issue inshallah kasance da mu jama'a mun dawo ko muna afuwa kuma insha Allah yanzu dai an fix problems and the technical challenges and especially with sound and it's strictly the malam hudu mun je cikin issues na zamu duba yau mun ce operation halt 2 da aka fara 2021 da aka soma dai aka ga wani alaman progress she daga baya kuma aka ja aka kwanta yanzu kuma an kuma relaunch wannan operation halt na za a duba magance shanin dai galamsey ko illegal mining mun ga introduce wasu new measures dai cikin new fighting inda za a involve chiefs nan da MMDCs da sauransu sojoji kuma su ne frontliners dai na second fighting da za a duba mun ji minister na batun dai illegal mining wanda ke kula da wurin Samabuji na po yayi batutuka dewa yayi batun even financiers wanda suke sponsor yayin galamsey duka ya tattauna batun wurin mun duba issues nan dai holistically malam hudu ya kawo ra'ayin shi dai mu duba mu tattauna sannan kuma kamar kana fadi BEC kuma Monday ga za fara mun duba this time around with private students da yan zana BEC regular ones na suma sun fara su duka at the same time so they were regular ones na suna zana sannan wanda za su yi remedial ko dai za su rewrite BEC na su suna zana on a different time ko date yanzu haka dai su duka sun zana at the same time mun san since 2015 aka introduce remedial for BEC suna gwada turnout na so they were yana very low isa yanzu haka dai sun gama yan rewriting na BEC around 1,000 plus dai su da yan regular BEC candidate na za su zana wannan kuma mun duba mu tattauna dai don waye sun ba mu assurance kamar this time around wasu problems in the career in terms of leakages council papers da sauran sun duba su magance mu tattauna wannan kuma sannan kuma batun da battle lines have been drawn batun da general secretary na NPP general Mosquito Saidu Kitiya kenan ya yi magana batun da chairmanship na NDC shi da sama for some people da za su lock horns kan chairmanship position mun san as we speak da kamar kan da former president ya fadi chairman party ne shine leader party na NDC don ba presidential candidate ko ba president nan kan yasa wannan position na kuma ya yi very important kenan yasa General Mosquito from General Secretary ya serve kamar 17 years kenan yanzu yana son upgrade je chairmanship position na yasa shi da yayi wasu zatutuka da special batu a yawa su wasu decision da sama pufuwa ya doki duka dai mun duba mu tattauna sannan kuma batun electronic tax law GRA sun close down China Mall Palace Mall mun gan wasu demonstrations kuma dai daga Ashanti region shop owners sun close shops saboda dai new tax laws na aka kawo wasu ake kiran shi batun tax da VAT especially value added tax da aka kawo yan GRA na gwada kamar most of these companies na 50 so far 25 kawai suka hold on suka shiga kan system sunan sauran da kamar suna drag feet ce yasa suka close wannan saboda su samu taxes na ayya biya shi da kamata yasa China Mall Palace Mall as we speak ga dai an close that because of wannan new VAT system da aka kawo ko tax regime da aka kawo isa mun duba wannan kuma mu tattauna isa issues nan dai duka kenan operation da ake kiran shi galamsey dai an relaunch wannan strategy da za a yi a duba maganci sannan kuma BEC a sedin ke tiya da national chairmanship position sannan kuma last but not the least electronic time Malam Hudu Yusuf shine guest na shine administrator na Umma Work Fund shi ma zai kawo ra'ayin shi dai batun labaran da za mu tattauna mu duba yadda zai mu duka mu ci amfani suna na Jama Muhammad Ibrahim ku biyo mu kan shafukan mu na sada zumunta muna kan Facebook walaka live muna stream muna kuma kan YouTube ku biyo mu kan Twitter Instagram TikTok duka muna kan ku search BEIN TV ko BEIN Multimedia kun same mu kan all the social media handles na ku follow mu insha Allah shi mu duka mu ci amfani abubuwa ko zatutukan da zamu yi saba da bata lokaci ba mun gode muku kuma da kuka yi hankuri halwa yau dai kuna duban mu even though with challenges mu halwa yau kuna kawo messages ku through WhatsApp line da ke kan screen haka kuma Facebook comment section kuma ku je ku kawo zatutukan ku ko commenting ku wanda zai enrich discussion da zamu yi yasa mun gode kware Malam Hudu sanda zuwa kuma technology is not always our friend so dewa ka zo ka ga kana so ka yaki amma technology na wasu not be fixable yasa bari ya delay program amma alhamdulillah dai mun gode kuma da hankurin da kai da muhalliyo da ka zama ka bata lokaci kai ka zama da muhalwa yaka abinda Allah ya kama kyau bar dai mu fara da batun BEC sannan mu je mu duba batun galamsey da sauransu BEC wai sun fara Monday yanzu focus mutane ne batun kan da ake cancel papers examination leakage da sauransu nan waye ki dai sun ba mu assurances kamar this time around they sun duba su kuma for the first time kuma dai private students da ke zanawa wanda suka fail za su better results su ma sun da kasance da yan regular ones na GHS level na menene ra'ayinka batun dai numbers nan ma almost getting to 1 million kenan ko half a million 553,408 candidates za su zana namu
to da farko muna gaida masu duban BEIN TV da suke kasance da mu kowane ranar asabar wanga program na biyu kuma shi mu isa da zuwa ga mai daki mu mai BEIN TV Allah kiyaye shi da ke duka BEIN kuma Allah ya kara daukaka ku ya sa ku gancin gaba cikin labarin ku BEC dai this year mun samu labari cewa kaman Allah da Monday da su soma. The only unique thing is that the regular students are writing with private or remedial students. Shi da yake ne abinda ban sani ban da an taba yin kamar this is the first time that ake merge the two.
Well, because of low turnout now.
Low turnout na private candidates.
That's why wagan fara shi 2015 ne. Aka introduce wannan private candidate wanda ya fi BEC shi a rewrite. I think it's a good initiative with that.
Absolutely. Ina gan kamar da nan mutum ya riga ya zana. It's like your life is shut. And I think it's good to give second chance to, because sometimes we over concentrate on your ability to pass examination, but some people have even criticized examination as a mode of assessing people's competency. When you fail, but somebody be here, but maybe that day and the country, something happened to the person, or prior to the examination, something happened. She about me, she is disorganized, thereby leading to some amount of failure. So, one initiative to give people who have failed their BEC a second chance to, risk it again. I think it's a laudable idea that we need to commend WAEC and government for that. Nabi Kuma, when it is time like this, we normally are afraid of potential leakages. Time and again, kaji we ya leak and cancel. Kuma affect performance because mutu ya shiri ya jaza na paper guda he's done and done with it forever. Chicken washa kira kama no and cancel akumozo arrested. Sometimes disorganized their learning pattern or thought pattern and all that. So muna fata kamar yanda suka ba mu assurance, it will be an incident-free BEC session that will go in will enter as one of the most successful incident-free BEC examination in the country. I've been a designer for the one because essentially it's a yearly routine thing, and we only can end by wishing the participating student or candidate the best of luck, especially when this is their first, bridge or hurdle to jump across their educational journey or life as a people.
So that's a transition to remedial and focus on the mind delicacy. They are very important.
Yeah, it's a good initiative.
Some people, educational ones who try to truncate at that level. She came. Prior to 2015, she came and she made one. She made a come back to
school. Passed through.
But with this option, I'm interested. We still the Mutani Zana and that's Susanna at the same time the regular ones numbers. And I don't know if people are not interested. Could they numbers any? Ake Mutani na pass ni basu. They the need as well. Could they make sure feel the big and the need to come right? Munsan was the Akazana. So they are because of the mind the machine as well tertiary level na yeah, which is an was our BEC they so they were maybe mindset and then you could they Mutani na pass this and Azana.
I don't know. Bangane the pass rate last year or the previous years because if you have few people failing, it will translate automatically into few people rewriting. I'm not sure whether it's finance because at that level, Nankoya Talau Chikoko Maswa Meshekede, the parents should be able to afford giving their child or the world a second chance to be able to raise it again. But that notwithstanding, Nagan Kamang Ba publicity Chukumao. The more than they were akwe remedial like we know about secondary school now. So Nagangwaya should rise up and intensify campaign or adverts about the receipt and the fact that you fail first time. It doesn't mean that's the end of your life. You should be able to come back again and weather the storm and be able to succeed and move on to the second cycle institutions.
At the Ghana School of Law, my dad exams. So Romutani Kumabatum, one in a
leakage nang leakage nang it's not a new phenomenon per se, but nagan kamang yeah widespread courtesy technology because that nang you leak daga koforia. People leak daga koforia certainly kameyan tamale soji ko yang akra so samu people na ya wiya kame su gane ma an zana exam sa an kare amma yanzu with technology, WhatsApp, social media, so Facebook da sauransu people ya leak wani wuri in no time no countrywide ko ya ji abin da ke tafiya kan na sana shi bari ya zama kaman it's more pervasive these days than it has been. Kana sana. Mba da nan ko da ya leak wani wuri ma the level of spread is contained due to lack of social media or a mode of transmission. At the end of the day, WAEC will just based on their evaluation and say that I mean ya leak, but it's only a few or a negligible amount of or number of students
who introduced measures in the
who had access to
where is the printing number they will be closer to the centers,
thereby not being able to spread it across, so that it will not warrant what do we call it cancellation. Can't understand that. So essentially, the muna kamang social media
has it also downside to the whole thing. Because that in the bar social media. Koda ya league da katamale. Ya ntamale gere da susani. Kame ya across ujina anza na ankari. So one day share benefit one day jiba. So at the end of the day, nsuka evaluations can come out. Abi ya league, but it was limited to a certain jurisdiction. And they be spread easily, but they don't take cancellation decisions that easy. Kana sana ama yanzu dabi after mutunguda no within 1 hour. It is everywhere. Kagan WAEC will have no option down to cancel the papers. So we can frequent cancellation of examination papers. Back about that, na yana alikama like kama na nefadi. Instead of mutani kama 1,000 ko wage na. Ye league mutani kama 50 that's uji because of mode of transmission. Ndi wani ya transmission share hauluri ko wanabu to be able to know that your spread have been done to other regions. It's a muna ganin kama technology is a factor. The other aspect that I also think is a factor for the leakages is the fact that we dwell so much on high academic performance so that everybody is striving to make their 1As, 8-1s and all those stuff. So that one aggressiveness and the people will go all out to make sure they pass. And in going all out to make sure people pass, and definitely people will pay their way out to be able to get the access to some of the league papers just because they want to pass their exams at all costs. So now again, these two.
As we got a print that soon measures in
that's
closer to very close to the.
No, but that would mean decentralization of the process, and that is more risky. Then again, there's more.
I want an element of one
mode of transportation. Mode of transportation.
There maybe centers and then that print.
No, because the more you have people on the value chain or the process.
The value chain.
No, are you saying that then might not have their own printing center?
Maybe have their own printing center. Are close to the centers and they're printing.
No. I'm still struggling to come to terms with the fact that one will be better. Because if you are decentralizing printing operations to every region or every district have their own printing abinga, you are involving a lot more people in the process, thereby exposing the whole process to leakages because you have a lot of people involved. Instead of hitherto, only a few people are involved in the printing. The only issue is that the printing before I'm printing from a central point, shall transport papers with through police escort. Shaka Center. Okay.
It said additional depot had been created for the storage of confidential material close to some selected centers to prevent the late start of papers at these centers as well as the early release of question papers to distributors.
And the depot is storage depot, not printing depot.
Okay.
So I don't think it's materially different from the usual system that we've had over the years. Akwe keep regional papers. So here kusasha as a cow to district level, then before finally to the main centers themselves. So I don't think it's in the printing.
Measures included provision of 24-hour guard for all storage depots by the Ghana Police Service, security officer at each examination center, and deployment of additional personnel for the monitoring and inspection of centers.
I don't think they are new measures because I mean
previously maybe that's really intentional about one number.
Maybe, but because I still remember, you know, my secondary school was a center where we went to school, and they were writing up deck or remedial examination November, December, and then the May, June was it will happen. So I'm quite familiar with the processes. A day before, the papers will come to the school, and it will come under police escort, and there's a specific room under lock and key, where the policeman will keep the key. So maybe they are just intensifying the processes, but I don't think these processes are really new measures that have been put in.
Advice can be to be on the alert for the activities of examination social media racketeers, whose primary aim is to make money through deception as well as avoid all forms of examination malpractice. I
believe that in the with the kill, I mean, you wouldn't fall for some of these social media exam paper racketeers. Normally, it's out of fear, maybe ill preparation on the part of the candidate. May she be koya with the kill, but he still want to pass. She get involved. If you really read the paper, you covered the syllables, you really studied. Genuinely, you should be able to be comfortable walking into the examination hall with all faith and pace.
That is not a problem. Swing between ways, social media racketeers, examination.
Of course, it's a matter of demand and supply.
Telegram, social media.
It's a matter of demand and supply. If there's demand, definitely supply will find its way of.
If there's a demand, I don't back some.
No,
supply now, so it means there's a leakage in now.
Once there's that demand, people will find a way of maybe even defrauding people to make money. Be that as it may, maybe I mean, fake as I'm having I have the papers and all that, you are carrying it. And then you pay money at the end of the day, so you answer. So definitely it will continue to exist. Can't understand I. But I think that it is high time we decentralize, maybe we broke the monopoly of WAEC. Because sometimes the leakages are becoming one too many. Yeah, but in my end, sometimes when you travel outside the country, our certificates are not even recognized. But if
at that level now,
it undermines the integrity of our educational qualifications. America, Canada, Dubai, and you are with certificate from Ghana. So elsewhere there are several examination bodies. So every school chooses where to register with and sit for an exam. Buddy, WAEC is so comfortable. And sometimes they keep on reassuring us anytime there are leakages. Oh, it will improve. And then leakages will happen. So once we break the back of their monopoly, so if there's competition, you will set up. The more you experience delays, the more you experience, what do we call it, competition, you'll be forced to set up and put measures in place to fix all the issues that leads to the league issues. Can't understand. So WAEC is time since when? Since Gold Coast it's been WAEC. So maybe they should open up the system and allow more private organizations to come in and also compete with WAEC. With that, we will see effective.
So maybe what advice about
ZONGO, they should desist from involving themselves in this exam paper racketeering deals. Wani leakage wani wuri. Kusa Allah gaba sauran nan kude ku inaku humanly possible. You are supposed to read, just read and revise your note. Kaya addu'a sauran nan ka bar ma Allah kawai je shiga kai naka. Ka understand that? Kaka ji da wani aka wani kwashi ko wani abu, or don't put any foreign material on you. Kaman kana so ka pass ka sata wani abu cikin socks ka ko wani abu. Wannan nuka yana bata sunakin okoko sunan mutanen zongo. My advice is that stay off any possible exam or practice and just read your books. Stay within the rules or the protocols governing the examination. And just make sure you go through successfully. Okay. And we wish all of them the best of luck.
We wish all of them the best of luck. Monday, they soon far up to Friday, 5-day continuous. But what's going in that? I was so great. So, no, come on, again, I like your 5 days because I'm shaking and anxiety.
I don't know, sometimes it puts undue pressure on them.
During 5 days in the Koyab, already Koyab in the Bayana Fara, Kamangu Biban, Katun Koyab, I've been during the course of the one that can refresh mind in Kadin.
Sometimes they write more than 2 papers a day. They write more than 1 paper a day.
It's a move, take break, move down by the gym hour, Muzomu continue the issues in it's a FIFA, but Muje break, Kadamuko, Muzomu do other issues in the Zamu discuss. Now, question to them. dawo halwa yau dai muna kan al'amuran garin da muke kawo muku labaran da shafi kasar mu Ghana during the course of the week da mun san labarai da yawa sun zo mun select wasu da za mu duwa mu tattauna ni da bakona Kudu Yusuf administrator na Umma Work Fund muna duwa muna tattauna so far dai mun duba batun DEC ina so da ki final thoughts kan da shi mu je next issue na DEC kuma kun gani yau na sa fari wanda ya costume na shine Stone Collections yana Madina Taylor shi ya bani wanga kaya ko shi ya bari na sa wanga tufa fari na kyau haka isa aya same Stone Collections around Malcolm dai Madina Malcolm yana wannan hudu zuwa kusa da MPP headquarters yana tsakanin Malcolm da rodin da ke zuwa MPP Madina constituency headquarters aya same shi kan 0277037000 0277-307-000 Stone Collections Taylor ne yana kokari yaya aiki kamar kan ka ga nasa kaya haka yaya aiki sa wani na so mai aiki ne na maza mata duka ayaje kuma ya same shi kuma kan 0244-179-313 0244-179-313 Stone Collections kenan shi ibani tufa da na sa fari haka ya kyau isa a kokarta location shi da yana Madina tsakanin Madina Malcolm market dai da ake kiran shi MPP constitution wannan rodin nan dai tsakanin before after masallacin da ke wannan kan rodin nan an same shi wurin Muhammad Salisu kenan shine Stone Collections isa a kokarta a je a kai kaya wuri da yi mutane malam hudu mu duba dai next issue da zamu tattauna na san dai ka ba da final thoughts ga kan BEC na ko mu duba batun dai bari duba na batun tax na electronic tax law GRA soon close down China manyan shopping malls da sauransu batun new tax na suka kawo VAT especially we sun sake act na isa yanzu sun intensify wannan campaign batun tax na sun ce shi initially 50 companies suka targeting that that's suka one new platform so far the 25 soon comply to China model soon gonganga basu still basu who called to one platform so new system that suka kawo na but who VAT then the suka be tax in the was also criticized but who can close down though yeah affect workers in them consumers who are affected was soon about that they could have done it in a better way not necessarily to close down munga issue kuma daga kumasi shop owners kuma traders in the suma also soon close shops some of the day but sabon VAT in the kawo soon about that we are also GRA personnel we soon monitor ya ke also sales so that we work in the suke but tax day also kuma we some of the tax evasion is a GRA introduce what a gabu some of the musamman young companies so they was some couldn't so some that soon are repatriated soon are couldn't the countries respective countries that we mutani also to avoid tax. It's argument in the DAZN be in a case say chicken but to GRA tax and not more than two arguments in the ACA put forward.
And I'm going to come on. GRA is trying to do their work, and I think that BFI will allow government institutional interference or whatsoever. The law mandates them to collect tax, and they are just enforcing the law. So they were bringing up the law is one thing, enforcing it or ensuring implementation is another headache. Munganchewa kuma so they were kuma all these giant businesses normally have a way of engaging in what we call smart accounting, just to deny the state the needed resources for development. Gamuna muna batum IMF and all that. Make them wuring bakudi. And the primary source of revenue generation for every state or every government is their taxes. So if your citizens or your companies are failing to comply with taxes, thereby avoiding tax payments or evading taxes, then it becomes something that is a cause to worry. So for me, I don't think they just woke up and just went there to close the shops. I'm sure there would have been several warnings and follow-ups and all that. To the point that to the point that they felt that it is high time they crack the whip, and therefore, for me, I don't think that something is wrong with their action. What I would say is that beyond the closure, we know staff are affected, but the needed the right thing must be done. If China more and the other companies or Police more and all those guys, these are all foreign companies. You can't go to China and avoid tax, do business and
I was about tax soon about approaching Ghana Revenue Authority.
What approach?
To close down completely, maybe even though maybe I'm
closure is a form of a punitive measure to ensure that you comply. If your shop is closed and you sit down aloof and watch them close the shop for your wares or your inventory to deteriorate, that's your cup of tea. I don't think that among all the measures or the alternatives they had, maybe they might have implemented all the other alternatives and it's still not working. So maybe this one is a backstop or the last resort. So that actually certified invoicing system, new system that's got amendment of VAT. So the question is, why is China more not trying to comply? We should find out, because nobody is above the law. If this is what the GRA or the tax laws are saying, every company should endeavor to comply, so that we can raise the needed revenue to support government effort to develop the country. But like I was saying, I don't think something is wrong with closing the shops, even though I believe that people are affected anyway. But at the end of the day, they are doing their work, and I'm sure it's a last resort, because they might have cautioned them, given notices, and it appears that all those notices have maybe fell on deaf ears. So what they had to do is they had to do what they have to do. and that's why they came in to close the shop.
Where 50 shops ne?
Yes.
I can select. So be our SaaS platform invoicing system.
For the closure of shops.
25 so I'm carrying this one Kumadana.
Kumasi. I'm tying in the that of the Kumasi. The Kumasi people is a demonstration to the government that they are feeling the pinch. Businesses are reeling because of the depreciation of the cedi, inflation, and all the attendant consequences that come with the economic mess that we find ourselves in. Can't understand that. So for them, even though they cited the harassment by the GRA as one of the reasons, they said they are not selling. Inflation is depreciation is eating their capital away, and GRA too on top of it is coming to tax them and all that. So in Agani, come on, it's a double dose of what do you call it? An economic mess that we find ourselves, because there's low markets, depreciation of the cedi, interest rates are high, people are making losses in businesses, and then on top of that, you come and stand before me and say I should come and pay tax. The people will rise up, and these are indications that the government should set up.
Is it not the same case if you can make for China model, Palace model?
No, I don't know. I have not heard about the victims of the shop closure by GRA. The Kumasi one, they close the shops voluntarily themselves. By way of demonstrating to government that all is not well. But the China malls, on the other hand, GRA So I think there are two different things that we need to put in the right perspective. Can't understand. China more specifically is and co are failing to abide by a tax law.
Tax laws, amendments, VAT Act.
They are failing to comply, but these guys are failing to pay. And they have indicated that their failure to pay is a result of the harsh economic conditions that businesses find themselves, or
two different
business environment. So it's two different things. One party failing to observe the tax rules by being on the electronic system to allow GRA to monitor transactions and therefore be able to calculate the taxes that are due them from the taxpayer. The other people in Kumasi are saying the harassment from GRA is just too much. Coupled with the fact that business know the B. Can't understand that. So these are more locals who are petty wholesalers, importers and all that, who have decided that government has been spoken to rise up and deal with the economic problems, but they don't seem to be acting in a way that gives the citizen confidence, and therefore they want to demonstrate by closing their shops. So again, they are right in closing their shops.
National organizer Nana B, she might have to again against GRA. Come on, sooner tax break. I mean, so expensive.
No, they are doing their work, but at the end of the day, one thing you need to understand.
Interesting. So engage. I can create regional minister now. Ashanti regional minister. So Halima way. Sukma engage Saraka. That was today. So what I am against Wanga issue. So still they are in talks with government.
I some good shop. Come on, father.
Actually, I'm good.
What's some good?
Ohima no way represented.
But it's an instructive.
Intervene.
I see it to be very, very instructive. If it is coming from the so-called stronghold of the MPP, maybe it's NDC who inspired them to close their shows. But this is coming from
issues.
But they are addressing the issues. If you are whatever capital you are trading with, depreciation of the city is just swiping everything away. It's a fact. It's a reality. Inflation is hitting everywhere. It's a reality. Can't understand that. So I don't think meeting them around a table to convince them to close the shop.
To open.
To open. Will do anything. It's just the immediate measure. But the long-term solution that they want to see is putting concrete measures, economic, both monetary and physical policies, to ensure that
taxes su da wannan VAT new VAT wannan
no ba mutum na gajiya sai ka ce mai kuma
to ya gari kuma zai samu kudi ya ci gaba da aiki ai
it's a chicken and egg situation much as they have to pay their taxes you should also be considerate that mutan people are suffering how much profit are they making after all you are after the profit not their capital so if they are telling you that the economic situation is eating away our capital you should be concerned because I mean it's being affected and therefore what are we doing as a state organization so by extension government you're interested in your profit the person for you know a lot of them are declaring losses it's just that they don't keep proper books of accounting. So sometimes they just by word of or normal tax assessment, yeah, do back that's a beer 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. But some of them, if they do proper books of, bookkeeping and accounting procedures are in place and are implemented, they will end up paying more than what they are supposed to pay. But this brings me to the larger conversation about the informality or formality of the economy. The economy is too informal. The tax collection is some way. We don't know who is doing what, who is earning what, from what source, and who owns what, and we are just here. So just the few people in the private formal sector who are still carrying the tax-paying burden of the entire country. Everybody is running away from tax. And the informality or informal nature of the economy, what they are paying is not just an estimate. They are well organized and it's a formal organization. I'm sure we can be able to rein in more revenue. That's why the vice president, I understand he is so crazy about the Ghana card and trying to digitize the economy and all that. It's at the core of taxation because if you don't have a proper identification system to have a database and pull everybody into the tax net, so to know what somebody is doing and how much he's earning to be able to tax them appropriately. You can't collect anything. I can sit in my room, do a deal or do something and make huge money and you don't even know what I'm doing. Can't understand that. So Muna Abbas and Kude Subu the shop because the effect the effect is too much. So GRA should go. I believe GRA should go soft on them, and just hope that when the economy bounces back after measures have been put in place and business is booming, why not? Everybody will be willing to pay tax if business is booming. But business is not booming and you are chasing people. Definitely they will come for you.
In place, 3 billion the mutu expect now.
But now, Gama be home you.
Guys,
3 million.
Yeah, kushi was abu.
Oh, masa. It's just temporary.
Hello, yo de muna kan al'amuran garin da muke duba da muke tattauna batun issues da shafi kasar mu Ghana cikin jaridu mu kuma online. So far da mun duba 2 issues. Mun duba batun BEC na za zana from Monday ga day zuwa Friday. Haka kuma yanzu muna duba batun the tax. Value added tax VAT da muka sani batun China Mall, Palace Mall da na muka compare da na Ashanti region traders na kuma da suka close shop yanzu haka dai because of engagement da na regional minister da sauran wasu manya daga Ashanti region dai sun bude shops su dai saboda ana cikin tattaunawa kan da za a yi batun tax VAT nan da ake kai ma traders nan an ya duba ko da rage musu ko dai sun come to a consensus to the GRA so agree kan one up isa issues da muka duba kai ne isa har yau da muna kan al'amuran gari kan BEIN TV muna stream live kan Facebook haka kuma all the social media handles kun ya ku follow mu kan sannan kuma kan website mu www.bainamultimedia.com wanda ke taimaka mini yake kawo ra'ayin shi batun da shi ne muke who do you see administrator ni na Umma Wakfa ni masunana Jamu Muhammad Ibrahim inda muke duba labarai da muke tattauna kamar kana na fadi tufanan da na sa ba kayan katasi stone collection shi ya ba mu wanga tufa shi bari na sa fari haka isa an same shi daga Madina tsakanin Malcolm da muka sani kusa da station nan da road nan da ke zuwa dai hal yake kiran shi NPP constituency office na tsakanin two locations ga akwai masallaci wurin yana kusa da wurin an ya same shi very experienced tailor ne ya yi aiki kwarai kamar kan da kuka gan nasa an ya same shi kan 0277307000 ko kuwa 0244179313 numbers shi kenan ya kira shi kowane design kake so ya yi kai maka mara gudu bari mu duba another topic kuma da muka aje bari mu je galamse na so mu doki political discussion na sai din kitan da mu wrap up da bari mu duba na galamse when an relaunch operation halt mun ga this time around the kaman engagement da aka yi na an factor duka mun ga recently president ya je ya engage sarakai daga Ashanti region daga National House of Chiefs daga Manshia Palace kuma ya engage MMDC da sauransu mun ga ya factor wannan cikin new galamse halt ga operation halt tunga ya ka ga the prospect of this new strategy da aka kawo inda ma minister ya yi batun even financiers waɗanda suke sponsor mutane da ke galamse duka da wasu da issues matters are rising out of wanga press review da suka announcement da suka yi batun galamse
issues about galamse is a very complex and multifaceted means that we need to really digest them or digest it properly, situate every actor within that space from a perspective that will eventually serve its purpose. Now, one meeting the Sarakun and the president they organized the Ashanti region is in the right direction because definitely it's a shared responsibility on the part of all stakeholders, including the chiefs, the local political authorities, central government, security agencies, intelligence agencies, and the rest of them. What I find interesting is the fact that we seem not to be serious about the fight, in the sense that the same crop of people who are in leadership, i.e. government, have their members, some of their members allegedly cited in the galamse. And you find it so concerning or worrying that no action is taken. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we are being told that government is serious and they are implementing new measures. Can't understand that. A classical case in question is that of the Akuta mining. Magana, the Dharma Kamambe, the lines, he's just mining and doing all sort of things in the
forest reserves.
What has happened to him? So for me, from where I sit, I don't take government serious.
Even before one gets alliances, the chiefs must soon can process in there.
Yeah, they have to amend the laws.
Front one fighting. Government they are delegate power na ba.
Now this is war, so they should just unleash the armed forces into the territories and go and be. I mean, these things, once you are even arrested, I don't think that they should even entertain this court stuff. They should just, maybe we should just initiate a legislation where we say that once you are arrested in connection with galamse, Yazama command death penalty. That can can direct.
Hey,
death
penalty.
No, Shebar Mutani Sugana kama Ido Yaija.
Death penalty in that case fight actually chicken.
No, for galamse the Yafia Kumulesh. Because Kamamuna was saying, do I but to Aisha Yanga? Hello, Anna, that you answer the court.
I process me.
Canada. So in there, I've been a Jimawaka. Sometimes big body, mutan some confidence. But the other aspect that Eke Bani, Nike Jindari come on, maybe something may come out of renewed effort on Ghana, involvement of the chief and allowing them to take center stage. Because indirectly, in the political authority at the local level seem to be complicit in the whole activity. Sarakuna now should be given some delegated power to also monitor and collaborate closely with the security agencies to ensure that when is circling there, I've been watching Ngwanka. There should be some penalties or punishments that will be meted out to you. Case circling Ima Asokeka Kam Kujiranka, you know, face law prosecution or any other measures in the Muke field come on. Aka Kauduka on board. They are go is zero because we seem to be. Come on, Muna Magana Kama action about action.
Yai Magana strongly, especially with the financiers, Yai Batum, Sarakai, Yai.
Yeah, Magana, the Munji Magana says, about Naji
Magana. They are showing some.
But he's alone. Naga is alone in the fight.
I Sarakai soon complain because you about the one that carry. Because in the process.
So Wanandu Kabeda Chiba. So if they have seen the wisdom in bringing all the Akara Saraku and Nanduka Kang and giving them maybe some constitutional or some legal backing to also give them some power. Naga help. Kana help a lot. And I hope and pray that this time around we get it right. But I want to see more genuineness in the fight through prosecution of politically exposed people who are involved, who have been cited. Kede affecting Suma Ache is our investigating Suma prosecutors. Because if you see the likes of Su Chasbi Sunga, you know, moving around and nothing is happening to them. You wonder if you hear about Yasunanshi, Akunta Mining and the rest of them, and nothing is being done. Then you wonder whether we are serious to fight Galamsey. Can't understand.
Serious, you can't get serious.
But all decided, immediately I still have my
because of new measures. Kasa anta bayi, she rather 2021 operation halt in Aishi. To aka ga wani alama progress kadan shaka jaka relax kuma. To yanzu abi ya kuma get out of hand kuma an kuma relaunch. Maybe this time around and get it right.
Ni wa na ma da kanshi na kaman
kuma sa hannu sojoji.
Was it they are going to employ
Suma
river
suka kasa to duka
river guards, water speed boats and I think they are all good initiatives. But I don't think this is the first time they are even implemented. Time operation Bangladesh Anka or Ngaba Beduka. Our problem in this country is Muna Fara no shemu abi fara yana the result shemu mo relax. Shabi kuma back to yende. So essentially, neither now come on. So Georgina should be given more power.
And we
should apply brute force.
Apply.
Once we are cited or I come
I shoot to kill
because sometimes not really shoot to kill, but ni abin da za a yi dai a sa tsoro cikin mutanen da suke yi.
The financiers in the theater don't mean
financier, how do you even identify financiers? Mutane aka kamo su ma, they are not even the major, the kingpins. Masu abin da kansu suna baya. Kuma me sai aka kama shi bai yare buga sunan shi. Bai yare ce jama ya yi koni ko hudu ya yi koni zo yin galamsa. An buga bakan bakin kai. So we should be serious. Politicians now should stay away and allow the security guy. I believe in the armed forces. Police sometimes I have little confidence. And when the armed forces, I can body with the autonomy to deal with Galamsey. They should attack it with all the Yasunenshi
force,
like going for a war. All the accoutrement, everything should be sent down.
Okay.
I trust that I think I have buried within in no time. Kind of muna yi kaman yanzu aka kama police ya ja kama wanga za ka shi court za yi kaza, you know. Kind of sana. But when we go with the mindset that we are going to war, when aka kama kaduka, they will deal with you even there. Kind of this issue about rule of law, the sauran su shi kuma na cikin haka ne nake gani. Because ta mun military nan an kama ka discipline man da za ba ka wurin ke da kanka baka zuwa wurin. So maybe they should have a unit within the military setup purposefully for fighting Galamsey. So now today
operation the only they soon fact
they are just there. So they are in all the districts
all the time.
Kana sana. Kuma those guys are supposed to be properly remunerated. Abia to the kill. Because we know how some of them are compromising. She rather protect instead of attacking them. They are rather protecting them. So all in all, one, they should involve the chiefs more. They should give the military more space to operate in the whole thing. They should take off the political guys and the government functionaries and they were an assassin. So they end up covering them up. And I think that once we give the armed forces all the needed support, they can weed out galamseyers within 1 year. And we can see that the water bodies will begin to resume.
Maybe I answer, maybe I got water bodies. So they were shares them come on 9 days. Shaja, come on 2021 the muk akayinga. And then was to progress. Roy as I clear. This time around, maybe with all the zeal in the Suka.
The Navy is there. The river boat or whatever they call them.
That's the question.
The armed forces should create a unit dedicated for illegal mining. And they should be there 24/7. All the time. It's not like that postunka. Make sure you are protecting the water because Water Resources Commission is there. I don't even know what they are doing. But the first time I heard about them, I didn't even know there's a body that is like Water Resources Commission.
Put on hold all my
ban everything.
Small scale mining that
for the next maybe 10 years.
Because argument
it's solid. If you can't control, you can't even manage.
Whether Canada license go back and
I stop everybody
for some years.
I stop everybody except the multinationals, the Anglo-Goes, the new ones who are doing them
deep
mining the right way. I'm a way community based mining. Look at a charade. Because once you can't control, you can't manage. Well, they sit in Accra, issue the licenses as to whatever happens in the forest. Only God knows. So for me, for those who are calling for
a ban as like
outright ban on the small scale mining, I think it's in order. I'll support them 101%.
Okay. So, I can find out thoughts in Kakena.
Yeah.
So Jamalo Yamuna can Alamuran Gari Muna Tata issues in the Shaf Kasam Muchin Jerry Dumuda Kuma online. So far the Munduba 3 issues Munduba Zaka de Batun Galamse Muke Mui Batun BC Kumaka Mukai Batun VAT in the Akakule shops in China Mall, Palace Mall, Batun de Kumasi traders Kuma Zaka de soon open shops so they still they soon at Tata Suda regional minister, all the stakeholders around that sector is issues in Amuka Duba Kenya. Last but not the least, Zamu Duba de Batun internal politics in the NDC in the current general secretary in the Muka Senate. I general secretary outgoing Kenya. I said doing Kitia Kenya. She does some Ofosu Ampofu. She the current chairman. The way the battle lines have been drawn. General secretary after Magana de Halia criticized she chairman current one, but in there I was West work on issues in the go on also decisions that for so ample for you take it abubua. It's a zoo among Gaya declare stance command the chairman. Come on for the Dazu even former president Mugane, chairman of the party as we speak the she leader of the National Democratic Congress. She Jomahama Mabashini leader Bashini presidential candidate Mabashini president of the nation. Meka gamba tu General Secretary na NDC maganganun de especially with Iowa West Wogon that maybe also the key make case for his ambition for becoming national chairman. Most of constituency level kumade sooner next week Saturday kina suma sunje election at constituency level for 1 regional and national and now can maybe presidential candidates in the Soros.
Well, Bagala, I say look at you. Come on, chairman for example should be rejected because he lacks the courage and the strength to face MPP. Naganin come on. Well, it's a normal internal politicking. of course, go the weaknesses, the Allah Bash and the strength in the Allah Bash, go careful the Allah Bash. From where he sits now, Shiaka Ganing, the current chairman, come on, he lacks one and courage based on events that happened in the past, particularly Ayawaso was
we take decision without proper consultation. But in the withdrawal of one election now,
to pull out the election, pull out from the election by the end is in
we consult properly but now. As I want a fair shot can end the year. Maybe I'll go under decisions man the maybe chairman here take during the course of 2020 elections. That's how educated also for the Duka.
Well, as to whether even the chairman is the leader in practice, sometimes I question because if you have Sujo Mamaduka around, certain decisions can really not be taken by the chairman. It's a whole body that will sit down and discuss issues and argue it out and come to a common consensus that this is the way forward. But like I said, he's a party person. You understand that? He has in and out of NDC to be able to be the chief scribe of a party for 17 solid years. Of course, being Magana Banza, he had information about things, the inner workings of the party. He's privy to certain information that you and I are not privy to. And therefore, in G, and our way, Dungeon Fisium, Ebekacho said, upon Chenewa, Yendina Achinye. Suke Urim, Suske Chicken Party, Suska Sanjuna. At the end of the day, it is the electorate or the delegates who decide who is befitting enough to be the chairman of the party.
Manage hearing, maybe.
But my worry is that some of these internal party wranglings will end up tearing the party apart if commentaries are not really measured by participating candidates in the election. You end up washing your dirty linens in public. Don't forget that you have a fierce
it's very surprising. Come on,
opposition.
Come on without proper consultation.
I'm wondering why, for example, Boy alone will sit in his room and just decide that the entire party machinery should pull out of the election without consulting anybody. I'm so struggling to come to terms with the fact that he alone will just sit in his room or without any proper consultation and just decide that as a party. One person cannot decide for a party machinery like that. So definitely some form of consultations might have happened. And that maybe the way it happened in Nane, she basu gamsuba. By the end of the day, don't believe she can take one decision. Because in which capacity, fine, he's the leader. But the leader, in circumstances like we saw in Iowa, so how things unfolded in the early days of the D-Day, he couldn't have just sat down alone and take that decision. Of course, he will take that decision in consultation with certain key events. Maybe it might be about due process and all that. It may also be that it's politics. To undermine the chances of his opponent. That's all. But
I want to hear for it. I actually weak.
What I would say is that in internal elections you should be careful. Not to say certain things.
At the
end of the day, when you are done, you come home and it's your brother. You still have to team up and go and fight the bigger opposition out there.
For the sake of discussion, I saw quote Abinda she Yefadi. General Mosquito way. For some person called me and I warned him against the decision, but he didn't listen. I was out of the country at the time, but the information and facts I had received on the ground showed that we were winning the election. So I was against the decision. He also called John Mahama and the president also asked him not to do that, but he also didn't listen. Wow, that's serious.
Former President John Mahama. Former President John Mahama. And to come magana kaman kaya binde ikisoi. General Kumashima yache kaya she go ahead fine. At the end of the day, like they say, the backstop with the leader. Of course, advice is not binding on him. But these are party big works that you can't take a decision without consulting them, which he did anyway. But he acted otherwise. So maybe based on certain information the she maybe at that time she was out of town.
Yeah.
So maybe she might not, because according
maybe information how can it's take longer, it's gonna take longer decision.
There should be a straightforward monologue conversation. Definitely will be back and forth before she take decision. So definitely, yeah, for the Musabine, she from where he's sitting, that is the right thing to do. But definitely, when decisions are taken, it will either favor one party or the other. And when it doesn't go well, as I check it. At the end of the day, decision had to be taken anyway. So whether he consulted or he didn't, and he took that decision, we saw what happened. She said when she took it for the and they took a pull out, it ended up being positive. That may criticize for doing that. Of course, leaders are made to be taking decisions. So definitely, whatever it is, either you say yes or no, and whatever you say, when you say yes, there are implications. Likewise, when you say no, implications that will come with it. So definitely, it's part of leadership.
Yeah,
and they just have to.
Former president handle Wanga. Don't maybe what's to do one community. Yeah, in our buying good. Only the people read meanings into a lot of things. Can maybe in our support to good idea. Maybe yeah push now. Because some by the way to come candidate they only. Likely they may win one number.
President now, former president, be fair support go by.
I'm not going to if he manage maybe Chimach Kimaganushi.
Shima Magana.
Now I say manage Shima. No one to say that thing can maybe in a support one candidate. Maybe
of course Sikizuki and she has someone they can support. I'm a be fair to what you gotta come on. Kamayaranka.
So far the VOA interview they granted the machine leader party but
one constitutional
parties they decide one day
constitution
a Sunday group power they kid she co-influence in the kid especially
no his influence cannot be overemphasized at all. But definitely he's supposed to be a neutral person and ensure that there's a fair level playing field for all candidates who pick up nominations and indicate their intention to contest. At the end of the day, all they have to hope for and pray for is the fact that at least some new crop of leadership that will help them wrestle power from the MPP in 2024 elections. Gari. That's the bottom line is to win power. So Kena Kade sit down for you may have your own favorite among the contestants, but the constitution, bars you from making it public. So Kena Kade you work behind to see your preferred candidate come into position so that they will help you.
Personally, compared to you, I can come on. Will be best on a chairmanship position. I said, Mugande as general secretary, they have been the as when she
for me so far so be for chairmanship. For me, now is a done deal for general. Of course, it's not too much a favorite to a lot of people in the party. It's not popular, but popular. Our general is very popular. For 70 years, general secretary. Is a de facto leader of the party, the administrative machinery, everything rests on the general secretary. So for having said for Kuma normally you win resoundingly, you win in that election. You win back to back with huge margins. So it tells you that the foreign genius which came party a lot of people like him. So for me, I wake up in the morning very shocking.
Lose.
If General doesn't win.
Maybe delegates feel to do work. He's good for the national secretary position. But for chairmanship, the most how diplomatic so they or Suki will not post a national chairman.
But who can be more diplomatic than General? General, these are political veterans. I mean, they've been in the trenches from the Rawlings era, and they have been. NDC is their DNA. So definitely. General can be for what I've seen and what he's been able to do, can be a good chairman.
Yeah, a good chairman.
He can be a good chairman.
Yeah, advanced to one. At this point, Wangaze feel for some of they feel betrayed in a way. Come on, Wanga position. Don't must come on for clout in that. Wanga can will the chicken one party NDC as national chairman. She for some people, but she at this time, going through his mind. They feel come on maybe betrayed by abusing the come on, maybe I said you can tell me bash one maybe supporting the Fiji national chairman. Yazu Wanga challenge my father Wanga Maganganu I suppose when she also Maganganu the AK with regards to the Batunde Ayawa so West War especially.
No, but it's a contest, it's an open contest. So if General decides he wants to contest, why would you feel betrayed? Unless maybe Sakani Sunan Shako and Alcohol Kamang Kiriban contesting Kashede Shede Castle before. But if it's a fair contest, Kana Soka contest, Mana Son contest. Then as a Tanashinka, Samu and some favorite. She's a
Tanishin Nakuma another ripple effect in the Mumba.
Yeah, the ripple effect, but that is some of the consequences of democracy. Because I'm a junior Bulala Teko, I'm a junior Zagi, Karuasha. Let's work together.
Yeah, unite.
Work together. When people have people's integrity have been having, when everything is just gone. You can't insult me and say all sort of negative things about me, and then when you win, you expect me to be a good team player. No. Normally, it's just for the cameras. Since it's a human institution, go one at the fashion, you go one at the favorite teach. But at the end of the day, we need them to hold the party together because they are the alternative. Kuma Munga MPP, Munga NDC. Ko ya za ide sakani su guda. Wani yafi goma the downwish.
Going into 2024, make a song again. NDC as a party, what should they do different? Munga 2020 the election like Anje court, Munga was our day especially in regards to executives in Abubuwan the official. And so they ask, I'm going to ask you speak the constituency level next Saturday so election.
What I think that they should focus on is beyond the electoral internal elections. I'm sure they might have learned lessons from how they handled 2020 in terms of communication because. And even after the election, immediately by 8 they were out. They had won the elections, and sometimes I don't know whether they came out too early.
Come on,
to declare that they had won.
NDC.
Because once you do that, you put opposition on red alert. So if they also have any machinations, they'll kickstart their strategies to ensure that they'll dismantle your victory, and that's what we saw. Because I believe strongly that given a parliamentary seat in them, it's a signal. There's a correlation between the number of seats you have won and the presidential results.
Numbers divided.
So if you have majority, it will be very hard to see the opposition party winning presidential.
And this Kasa election will be very unique. It's a way of the electorates who can tell politicians, both NDC and PDP come up.
I know people vote skirt and black, but at the end of the day, I still believe that there's that correlation, strong correlation between number of parliamentary seats and presidential results.
NDC could have done better.
They could have done better. They could have done better. Or even in court, man. Well, if you want to go into the court, how it was handled by the court, me, I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed that Supreme Court will shield the EC from being cross-examined. Because there were a lot of things that didn't go well with this election. Even the figures when it was initially published and announced that, when you add the percentages, they tallied more than 100%, and it's a fiercely close, battle, close call, and you can't get your figures wrong.
The party if it's to do what.
But of course they did their best. But sometimes, opposition
back at the
Karfi. The government here is bent on mafia, doing some mafia. And that is what I think. That is what I saw play out in 2020. Because Mutu and Aka Inga Duka and Batunsu Sabulugu, Techiman South, snatching ballot boxes, declaring with a pink sheet, all these issues, you realize that something was at play.
do or die in some of the 2024 but also one issues a crop up.
All the day because at the end of the day, so sometimes I wonder 2016. If you are in government, you are at an advantage. You can do a lot of things to overturn certain results and all that kind of thing. So NDC should be up and doing. I know they have now brought an initiative that one constituency per lawyer who sit there and make sure that all the legal they don't commit mistakes and all that. No, I think this is the time.
Okay.
They have just, I think something like that is coming up where every constituency will have a lawyer. So
one time, former president had meet lawyers.
Because at the end of the day, some mistakes will be done at the constituency. Coming national level to take over, so they will follow the case up. A lot of mistakes will have been committed that it will undermine your case possibly in court.
Issues.
So issues for NDC, I think that general should be measured in his speech. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, it's a friendly contest. We know it's an in-house thing. Whatever it is, if you do more damage, indirectly you are damaging your own party. So at the end of the day, they should just stop attacking personality and speak to the issues. What you think will put you above the incumbent one. What can you do differently? What lessons have you learned from your previous positions that you think that when you are put in the position of a chairman, you can guarantee victory for them in 2024? For Galamsey, I think that from what I've seen, I'm still not convinced as to whether all the initiatives will yield results. But the government seem to be talking a lot, and
that's what I'm saying. I want to write in there, take over.
The government is just to fight the Galamsey, but muna fata de so yeah mungan results chicken abin da suka sa gaba da su yi
Operation Hot.
Muna fata de this time around de so yeah so ya sunan shi so musa nasara cikin wanga yaki.
Last but not the least,
BC especially mutanen yaran zongo mu da suke cikin da su zana, muna fata Allah, muna roƙo Allah ya ba su sa da rabo su samu su zana. Kuma nasiha ne muke da shi, kar kowa ya wani attempt kai wani abu ko wani ya samu wani question so zai zana wasu foreign material ya shiga da shi ya zama hau duka bai hau. Ke dai kai kokari ka zama kan buksun ka koya abu kai addu'a sauran ka bar malaje kai naka ka samu good school and duka ya komai yayi, amma irin ana so a shiga da wani abu phone da sauransu duka bai hau. At the end of the day, ko da ka pass maka da kanka cikin zuciya ka san kamar yana na pass na ba shi bane.
Guilty conscience ka ya
ka sani
ya dame ka.
Akwai wani course man da nake, they will tell you are free to refer to the course material. Amma ne kan nan gaban non ka zana exams na refer
wannan opportunity there, why not?
No, but in ka refer ka kare na prefer kamar ne kai na yi na fail nje back ngane inda na fail na she wannan yana stick more yana bar na tunawa a wannan duba na pass
banje dokan kamar waye su ce kamar me
no ban jin dadi ni that's for me ban jin dadi
conscience ka be wanga don ba kamar ka cheat bane mun san kamar kan da wasu ke foreign schools da sauransu outside world na so dewa ana ba su material
amma wannan ga kamin ka je ka ga inda ansa yake wata mai wuce
nan ga ma ka san ba invigilate ba
invigilate but what I'm saying is that the whole intention is not to squeeze you. But you yourself, you can't pass. I mean, you know, but the whole thing is the lessons and the skills you are learning and seeing how to be able to apply them on the job.
And chew and poor system.
No, you can't memorize your way out of it. You know, we put too much premium on academic performance. May help. Sometimes we have to make the system very flexible to be able to allow students to get the actual practical having experience. So Allah Abasu Sadarabo, we hope that they will come out with flying colors and also move on in their life as youngsters.
Mungo de kore. Bakona kenan malam Hudu Yusuf shine administrator na Umma Work Fund. Inda zamu kawo karshen another issue yau. Mun san yau dai program ya very erratic because of also technical challenges. Akwai muna afwa. A fata next week da insha Allah ba mu samu irin wannan matsalolin da muka samu. Nan ga dai zamu dasa aya na edition yau na al'amuran garin da muka duba muka tattauna ne da bakona kan issues da ya shafi kasar mu Ghana during the course of the week. Issues da muka select ne batun galamsen da fighting da aka relaunch Operation Halt 2 da aka kawo aka kuma muka duba kuma batun BEC da za a zana Monday ga more than 500,000 students za su zana wannan both private students da na regular ones da za su zana. Muna fata dai Allah ba su duka sa da rabo especially yaran mu da ke zango yaran mata da maza dukan da za su zana BEC muna fata Allah ba su sa da rabo kuma su yi su pass su samu secondary schools da ke da kyau wanda ya kamata da za su koya su je har tertiary level. Haka kuma muka duba batun dai internal politics in NDC inda General Mosquito ya ce yana so ya shi mai contest for national chairmanship position. Da is wasu zatutuka dai batun especially a yawa su West Wogon inda wasu decisions da current chairman of some pofu ya take wannan maganganun duka wasu na gwada so they were ya fi careful maybe da wasu zartukan da zai kada abin ya zo affect party na going forward. Sannan last but not least mun duba batun electronic tax law wanda aka close down China Mall, Palace Mall, mun ga kuma su kuma traders na wasu sun close shops sun saboda batun dai VAT da aka jiya da asa jiya dai sun bude because of engagement da suka samu da regional minister da sauran manya daga Ashanti region. Sanan ga dai zamu dasa aya kuma kan na fadi koyi muna afuwa da yau technical challenges na ya bar program da ya flow yanda ya kamata ya sa time ma kuma ya kuma extend. Suna na Jama Muhammad Ibrahim wanda ya taimaka mini technical level FIFA Alhassan Sheko Kata suka kawo da mako kuma mun gode kwarai insha Allah. Allah ya kai mu next week kuma mun kawo kwana da edition na al'amuran gari. Sannan kuma wanda ya bani tufa da nasa fari haka shine Stone Collection shi ma yana Madina kusa da dai Malcolm Shopping Center na rodin da ke zuwa dai hali constituency office na MPP tsakanin wannan road na an same office wajen shagon shi wurin an yaje muna aiki wurin numbers shi 0277037000 ko kuwa 0244179313 an ya same sunan shi Muhammad Salisu Yusuf kenan tela ne yana kokari yana son aiki ya yi kyau for all your occasions kuma for like I said they for normal walk around kade kai ka je wurin shagon Muhammad Salisu Stone Collection ya muna aiki yanda ya kamata. Sannan ga zamu da saya mun gode kwarakun da kuka kasance da mu a wayan mu bi wasu messages da muka samu insha Allah next week mun duba mu kawo muku saboda dai technical challenges sai kasance da mu lafiya ku ta duban Baina TV connected to your world. Allah sa ku kasance lafiya. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.